Alright everyone, this is not a dry video about relaying stats. Now you will learn all the stats and numbers you need, but to actually earn the best titles, the gorgeous mugs, and the crazy amounts of gear, we will want to beat the average when we're doing Nightfall, and that's what today's video is about. We've even figured out the best way to get everything you want as soon as possible, and there's even something that Blizzard have missed that we can exploit. So yes, we found out a way to reliably get more rep than Blizzard intended, cutting days, maybe even weeks off the grind. I've also got a friendly challenge for you. Give me 30 minutes, and with today's sponsor, you'll finally have the website that you've been meaning to build, and fire me what you make over on Twitter afterwards. So, Squarespace has an easy-to-use site builder and award-winning templates, but even better, they have been cooking lately. Design Intelligence is their mix of tools that basically helps you access their 20 years of design experience, but, not actually needing to be a designer. It starts with Blueprint AI that asks you a few questions, and once you've answered, their interactive design system has you building your own custom Squarespace template. They keep you right with designer-picked fonts and color palettes all to match your aesthetic, and from there you can then iterate on your copy and your content. It's all seamlessly integrated and super easy to do, so if you've been overwhelmed by overly technical or fiddly things in the past, or you just want to start quickly with somewhere where you know all your bases are covered, this is literally made for you. And their core offering's always growing as well. They've now got native video support, so you can have a gorgeous player in this lovely looking video gallery layout that of course is all interoperable with their e-commerce tools. Look, whenever I needed sites, Squarespace was my first port of call because they made it easy and I needed my problem solved. So you can get started today at squarespace.com/bellulargaming. And here's the cool thing, check out Design Intelligence, do all of that for free. Build your site for free. Now you can show me what you've made, and when you're ready to go live, code BellularGaming gets you 10% off your first purchase of a site or domain. What's it all for, though? Well, there's three things that we want with Flame's Radiance. One is the Renown. The Renown will get us titles, toys, and the Radiant Imperial links. 2, service emblems. We want service emblems because these are how we grab the new Arathi-themed sets. And 3, cultist satchels, because they are the main source of the Void-themed sets and the only place you can find the Void-scarred links mount. Okay, so we get Renown from the hourly Nightfall event and from daily quests. We get service emblems from the Nightfall event weekly, and we get satchels from those daily quests. So if you want to max out the Renown, never mind, say, getting all the rewards, Blizzard are overtly asking you for a mix of two things: to do Nightfall 90 times, or to do your dailies every day for 75 days straight, or, most likely, some combination of the two. So instead, we thought we'd just break it and get more progress faster. This is the hardcore, balls-to-the-wall, almost exploit-level farm, so if you want to be one of the first to rock out that new gear, the mount, and the Sacred Templar title, this is what you can do. Number 1, every hour you possibly can, do the Nightfall event. Fill the service award bar as fast as you can. Even if the bar is invisible, it's actually still there, which is a bit annoying for the UI. Anyway, this will tick up whenever you kill mobs and when you complete objectives. As soon as you have got all 3 boxes, what I want you to do is log out. You don't actually need to kill the boss because you've already got the rep. What you're then going to do is you're going to finish the event on another character. I'll explain why this works. So completing the event doesn't really matter in terms of rep. The actual rep comes from whenever you hit 33, 66, and 100% on the bar. Now, you'll know you've got those because that rep comes at the same time as you get your green, blue, and purple box rewards. Now, green and blue give 75 rep, the purple gives 250 for your first daily, and then 100 afterward. So, once character 1 has got all 3, right? It's got all 3 boxes. Then, log into character 2, and character 2 can start earning those as well. But, of course, this wouldn't work without a specific trick, and that trick is War Mode. Get all 3 boxes on your first character, then log into a character that is parked in the location of the event where the boss spawns in War Mode. And here's why I'm doing that. War Mode forces characters into a different phase, and better yet, it's got fewer players, and that means that the event likely won't have finished yet. And this means that if the timing lines up, you'll be able to finish your bar, get all your rep in one character, and then swap character around the second last phase, which is the mob farm before the boss. if you pull that off, then you can get both the green and the blue boxes on your second character as well. That's because the mob farm is really fast, and tagging the boss gives you a full 33% of your meter. And that essentially means that if you time this right, adding a second character into the mix turns your usual 250 per event into a much larger 400 per event. And of course, this takes the same amount of time, around 15 minutes. You just have to make sure that you tag as many mobs as possible so you max out your event progress and then swap out in time to get some more progress on your second character in war mode. Of course, if you're too slow or the event finishes too fast on your main character, then you may need to tag the boss in order to get the third box on your non-war mode character. But at least for us, the timing still did work out, and while the event may be cleared extremely fast in the first few days when this is new content, expect it to slow down over time, and as it slows down, this technique should actually get more and more viable. But basically, this almost doubles your rate of reputation gain, which is huge. Doing it normally, you would need to do Nightfall around 90 times to get all 22,500 rep. That's, well, over 22 hours of playtime, over 90 real hours of time. Doing it this way, you would only need to do it 56 times. That would save you an entire 8 hours. Yeah, which is pretty damn good, right? But of course, I'm not done. We can speed this up even more. There is a weekly quest. The quest is called The Flame Burns Eternal, and it rewards 50 repeatable rep for completing the event. So if you cycle your alts for the second part, the war mode part, then you can also earn a bonus 50 rep each time one of those alts does that weekly, which is pretty nice. So basically just put a new level 80 in war mode, bring it down here, pick up the quest, and park it until the event. And with that, well, it's 450 rep per event while you've still got fresh alts. And fresh alts will also come in handy for farming the dailies for even more rep. Now, so far I've just talked about rep. There are other things that we want, like say this gorgeous looking Arathi colored set. Let's talk about it. So that weekly, the Flame Burns Eternal, is where we will be earning ourselves service emblems. These service emblems are soulbound, and that means you've got a choice. You can either spend them on champion gear for each character, or you can just work toward a full set, unlocking the transmog. That one's completely up to you. I would definitely focus on finishing the transmog, honestly, because gear is fairly plentiful these days. Though I do have a warning on that. Hold onto your emblems until you've exhausted all your alts. I say that because the quest bag also drops a piece of Arathi gear. So that means that once you know what bits of gear you're missing, you can then buy the rest with your emblems. It would suck to, buy something with an emblem and then just get a dupe in the bag, so we want to avoid that. Okay, the final piece then, the Void Gear and the Void Links. These come very simply from the daily quests, and they really are simple. It's just 3 daily quests, which will give you 3 bags of Void Veteran gear. You get 100 reputation per quest for your first set, and then you get 50 on alts after that. Now, these quests take about 10 minutes or so, so basically, cycle alts doing these sets of dailies between your Nightfall events. That will get you tons of bags, tons of reputation, but with this, there is no crazy trick or hack. It really just is doing those dailies until you get what you want. Okay, this has been a big ol' segment. Now I'll give you the TLDR. This is the best method, as simply as I can put it. Tag mobs until you fill the service award bar and get the purple box. That will earn you between 250 to 500 rep, with of course the 500 being from your first completion of the day. Then immediately swap out to a parked war mode character, ideally a fresh one with the Flame Burns Eternal weekly quest on it each time. On that character, tag mobs and kill the boss to earn at least another 75 rep, but hopefully another 150 if you are fast enough. Then, if your alt has the Flame Burns Eternal weekly, turn that in for another 50 rep. Doing that will be about 400 rep every hour and 650 for your first of the day. Then, when the event is down, you can take every level 80 character you've got through the incursion dailies for an extra 300 rep the first time, and then 100 every time after. Of course, with those being daily, there's a lot of reputation there. And in terms of timing, you should have enough time to do 3 rounds of dailies before the next Nightfall event. so that's another 300 rep, or 500 if it's your first time. This way, you can earn about 700 reputation per hour, with a bonus 450 every day. And for our real-world example on live servers, just from about 3 hours the morning I record this while putting this guide together, we got 1 full renown level, which means there's actually only 8 to go, because this is a shorter 10 renown long one. So with this strategy, you can actually finish this whole thing in a few days if you want to. If you spread it out over, let's say, 2 weeks, it's under 2 hours a day. And if spread over a month, it's substantially less than that because you'll be getting so many more of those front-loaded first bonuses. During this, you'll also earn tons of gear. There's the purple Warbound Veteran gear from the daily satchels and from looting the boss, the Champion Arathi gear from the weekly bags and the service emblems, and you'll also have loads of chances for tons of cosmetics like the Void Scarred links. Okay, that's the TLDR, but don't go, because I've got tips and tricks. Here are a bunch of tips and tricks to supercharge your farming. Seriously, when you implement this stuff, you'll be going so fast that it just feels way more fun. Okay, during Nightfall, tag mobs either alone or in a party, but not in a raid. We got no award progress when we were in a raid group, so don't do that. Also, focus on tagging, not on killing. 1 hit is enough to make them count. You might be thinking, okay, but that's a pretty bad way to play the game. In one sense, you'd be right, but actually, if everybody focuses on that, a lot of those mobs, well, they still do die, but everybody gets more XP, which actually does make it overall more efficient as a group system. Moving on, if you're lucky enough for the game to actually give you a specific objective to do during the event, do the objective. Those objectives give you way more award progress that will let you finish out your mission bar quicker, which will mean you'll more soon be able to log onto your second character and ideally get that character 1, 2, or if things are absolutely mad, even 3 chests. My next tip is in how we move around the world. Getting around on time can feel a little bit rough here, but there are some insane time-saving moves that you can do on all of your alts just to, well, travel faster. So, if you get engineering on all of your alts and buy the Khazalgar wormhole, if you can afford it, then you'll have a good time. That thing's extremely useful. So if you're in Dornegal, you can just flick on war mode, learn engineering in the forge in the middle, and then use the shared wormhole from the toy box. At any time, you can do that, and you can take the wormhole to Hallowfall, and that will usually set you fairly close to the event. Now, if you've got a Priory portal from timing a +10, that is also an insanely convenient way to immediately get yourself to the Nightfall event location. For the dailies then, don't worry about your alts needing gear. The Sacred Flame Ward buff is absolutely huge, and they have not scaled those areas up, which basically means item level 600 is more than enough to let you blitz them. It's quite overtly designed for people who are catching up on their alts anyway. And even in the Arathi's End area that's full of elites, well, it's actually kind of trivial because you've got these sacred alchemists giving you a humongous buff just for talking to them. So, you know, go talk to them, get your buff, kill a load of shit, get some rep, be happy, and get some of the coolest titles that are in the game. That's it. Good luck, happy farming, and for when you're absolutely geared to the tits, watch this video next. It's how to kill the Underpin on his hard mode. It's a real good feat of strength. And the good news is that our video breaks it down so that basically you have got the recipe. You've got the pattern for success, the way to win. Enjoy that, and I'll see you over there.